Hello everyone, my name is Sohail Sham. I am Assistant Professor in Management Studies. Welcome to my 8th lecture on the subject Management Process and Organizational Behavior. In today's lecture, we will be discussing on the topic the classical and neoclassical theories of management. I have seen mostly students have a major query about the categorization and subcategorization of managerial theories. So here, through this lecture, I will let you know a brief and consolidated information about the various managerial theories. And then in my further next lectures, we will be discussing about the various theories of management in brief. So today here, we will be discussing introduction, basic meaning and differentiation, and categorization with subdivisions of the various theories of management. Coming to the topic, let's begin. Theories of management. Introduction. What is the role and what is the importance of managerial theories in a formal organization? What is the essential part and what is the essence of managerial theories in an organization? Coming towards the meaning, managerial theories are the set of general rules that guides the manager to manage an organization. So, managerial theories are helpful for a manager to work in an organization in the right way so that the organization have a sound vision. Right. So basically, they are general rules, regulation, policies, and the guidelines by which the organization and the employees in the organization will work on for achievement of organizational goals and objectives in the right way. Next, theories are an explanation to assist the employees to effectively relate to the business goals and implement effective means to achieve the same. Here, managerial theories explain and assist the employee. Employee may be at supervisory level or subordinative level. These theories of management help the employee for effective utilization of scarce resource and effectively working in the organization and achieving the organizational goals by proper implementation of these theories in an organization, right? So that the organizational goals can be achieved in the right way. Next, these theories of management help manager to make effective use of human and non-human resources efficiently and effectively in an organization for achievement of organizational goals and objectives in a competitive market. Now, by proper implementation of these managerial theories in a formal organization, the manager can effectively utilize the human and non-human factor in an organization so that there can be maximum productivity, there can be effective utilization of this human and non-human factor in an organization. These human and non-human resources are said to be the various factors of production. These are also known as 5 M's of management. They are manpower, machinery, method, money, and material. So these all 5 M's or human and non-human resources has to be effectively utilized by a specialized manager by proper implementation of managerial theories in an organization so that organizational goals and objectives can be effectively achieved in the competitive market. Right. So this is all about the various essential part of theories in a formal organization. Coming to the next, theories of management, basic meaning and differentiation. Now we will discuss the theories of management in detail. Classical theories. Classical theory. There are many other names. Classical theories are also said by different authors differently. Like classical theories are also said to be classical approach, functional approach, empirical approach, traditional theory, right, and so on. So these are the various names which are given by various authors to classical theories. Next, neoclassical theories. Neoclassical theories are also known as neoclassical approach. What is the basic meaning of classical theory? Classical theory, one of the oldest and traditional approach to management which can be traced historically to the 19th century. Now, as per the name, the classical is the ancestral theory, the ancient theory of 19th century. Right. So it is the oldest form of theories which are implementing by these manager at the older time, at the ancient time, for achievement of organizational goals and for more and more productivity in the organization. Now coming to the neoclassical theories, it is the modification of classical theories by emphasizing the fact that organization is a social system and human factor is the most important element in it. Now, neoclassical theories are the modification of classical theories, right? In which basically the classical theories is related to maximum productivity in the organization. The main focus in classical theory is maximum productivity, maximum output, and maximum profit, earning of profit in the organization. Whereas in neoclassical theories are more concerned about the human development, human satisfaction, about the human resource working in the organization, right? So here the modification of the classical theory is said to be the neoclassical theories, in which it emphasizes on the fact that organization is a social system. It means related to people, and human factor is the most important element in it. Right. So here in neoclassical theories which are related to the human beings, the satisfaction level of the human beings as an individual level as and as also in a group level. Right. The next meaning and differentiation. Classical theories mainly focus on the problems related to productivity, output, and effective efficiency of the employees. Now, the classical theories mainly focus on the efficiency, increasing the efficiency of the employees and workers so that they can achieve the productivity at high rate. Right? They can achieve the output at the high rate. Right? So mainly focus of classical theory was productivity, maximum productivity by increasing the efficiency of the employees in the organization. Whereas if we talk about the neoclassical theories, it mainly focus on human relation and human aspect and based on social and psychological needs of human beings working in an organization, right? So neoclassical theories are related to something other than profit, something other than productivity. The major objective, the major focus of neoclassical theories is human relation, human aspect, and the social and psychological fulfillment of social and psychological needs of the employees at every level in the organization, because the employees are working and devoting their time for the organization for conversion of raw material into finished product. That's why the organization is responsible for fulfilling the roles, the human needs of the employees working in it, right? So this is all about the neoclassical theory. The next point, in classical theories, deals with most exclusively with the anatomy of formal organization, that is analysis of organizational structure. Now classical theories are very rigid theories which are directly related and related to the productivity, and by any means, by any hook or crook, the major focus was the productivity of the organization. Whereas in neoclassical theories, it deals with the problem related to individual needs and their behavior in the organization. Here in neoclassical theories, it deals with the behavioral needs of the human beings, behavioral needs of the manpower working for the organization, and by for fulfillment of those needs, right? So this is all about neoclassical theories. Now the concerned persons involved in classical and neoclassical theories. In classical theories, the major contributors are F. W. Taylor, Henry Fayol, and Max Weber. And in neoclassical theories, the major contributor is of Elton Mayo. Elton Mayo is also recognized as a father of human resource management. And with the Elton Mayo and his team has described the various neoclassical theories to the management. Right. So this is the basic meaning and comparison, the difference between classical and neoclassical theories in a formal organization. And now coming to the next, theories of management, categorization with subdivisions, classical theories. The first theory, the first subdivision of classical theories is bureaucracy theory. Bureaucracy theory is also known as bureaucratic approach, which is given by Max Weber. Max Weber was a German sociologist who introduced this bureaucracy theory in the organization, in the for the welfare of the organization, right? So in bureaucracy theory, we will be studying and discussing the various features of bureaucracy theory. We have to study the various advantages of bureaucracy theory and certain limitations of bureaucracy theory, right? Next classical theory will be the scientific management theory by Frederick Winslow Taylor or F.W. Taylor. F.W. Taylor was also known as father of scientific management, and he was an American mechanical engineer and a management scientist in USA. Scientific management theory is also known as scientific management approach. In scientific management theory, we have to study and discuss the various principles given by F.W. Taylor. There are basic 5 principles given by F.W. Taylor, and there are 7 techniques of scientific management which are given by F.W. Taylor for increase of productivity in an organization. So in our next lectures we will be discussing these all in detail. Third classical theory is administrative management theory by Henry Fayol. Administrative management theory is also known as functional theory or process approach, and Henry Fayol is also known as father of administrative management, and he was front mining engineer and a director of a mining company. In this administrative management theory, we have to study on the various functions of management given by Henry Fayol. They are basic 5 functions of management: planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. And we have to study the 14 principles given by Henry Fayol. Those principles and those all in detail we will be discussing in our next lectures. So this is all about the classical theories or classical approach, which is categorized and 3 categorization: bureaucracy theory by Max Weber, scientific management theory by F.W. Taylor, and administrative management theory by Henry Fayol. Here you can see a diagram which shows the classical theories: bureaucracy theory, scientific management theory, and administrative theory. Now coming to the neoclassical theories or neoclassical approach. Neoclassical approach is basically given by Elton Mayo and his team, in which there are certain experiment and approaches. Right, the first experiment is said to be the Hawthorne experiment, in which there are 4 subdivisions of Hawthorne experiment. They are elimination experiment, second, relay assembly test room experiment, third, bank wiring observation room study, fourth, mass interview program. These 4 type of experiment will be studied in Hawthorne experiment. Next categorization, behavioral science approach, and the last, system approach, and the last, contingency approach. So the neoclassical theories or neoclassical approach are categorized in four categorization: Hawthorne experiment, behavioral science approach, system approach, and contingency approach. So these are the various theories which we will be studying in our next lectures for better understanding these various managerial theories in a formal organization. Thanks for watching my video, and for getting more related videos, do like, share and subscribe my channel. Have a nice day.